Do you believe that great things can come in small packages? Assalamu alaikum and good day to everyone. My name is Ihsan Benyamin bin Ahmad Uways. Today, I will be telling you a story entitled The Inch Prince. Once upon a time, there lived an old couple named Mr. and Mrs. Pink. They lived in a small house at the foot of a mountain beside a rushing river. The Pinks had everything they could possibly want. Well, almost. I wish we had some children. I wouldn't care if they were just 1 inch tall, cried Mrs. Pink. At that moment, a fairy happened to fly past and overheard what the couple were saying. Noticing that they were both good people, the fairy said, "Jumping beans and flying fish, give these folk their dearest wish." Soon after, Mr. and Mrs. Pink were the proud parents of a teeny-weeny boy. He was just 1 inch tall. "Let's name him Ihsan Boshi," said Mrs. Pink. "It means 1 inch boy, and we could call him Issy for short." As time passed, Issy never grew any higher than 1 inch tall. When Issy was 18, he went to the palace in search of a job. For his journey, Issy would use Mrs. Pink's sharpest needle as a sword to defend himself. As Issy scuttled along the crowded streets, he thought to himself, "I'll ask the emperor for a job. That is, if I don't get squashed first." After dodging hundreds of stomping feet, Issy finally reached the palace. But the guards wouldn't let him in, so he jumped over their feet and darted into the palace before anyone could stop him. Then he met the emperor and the princess. He bowed down to them and said, "I would like a job, please." "Would you now?" said the emperor. "But Dad, he's tiny. What could he do?" asked the princess. "Well, I ran past your guards and made it through the rest of the palace unnoticed," said Issy proudly. The emperor thought for a moment. "I hereby appoint you to look after Princess Chi-Chi," he declared. "But how could he defend me? He's only 1 inch tall," asked Princess Chi-Chi. "Small things can be special too," said the emperor wisely. From that day on, Issy never left the princess's side. One day, the princess left the palace to visit her aunt, far beyond the city. While going through a dark forest, a giant ogre crashed through the trees and grabbed the princess. "Put her down!" shouted Issy. "Ha ha! What could you do?" laughed the ogre. The ogre scooped Issy up and was ready to eat him. But Issy quickly took out his needle sword and pricked the ogre's tongue. The ogre spat out Issy and dropped the princess, while scrambling to run off into the woods. "Thank you, Issy. You've saved my life!" shouted the princess. As Issy and the princess were regaining their composure, they noticed that the ogre had left behind a hammer. "I wish you were bigger, Issy. Then maybe you could lift it." Suddenly, a cloud of magical stars shot out from the hammer and swept around Issy. Seconds later, Issy found himself standing shoulder to shoulder with the princess. "The hammer must have granted your wish," cried Issy. Soon after, the princess fell in love with Issy for his bravery. And it wasn't long until they got married and lived in a small house near the palace. The house was small, but they were happy because they both knew that small things can be special too. And that, everyone, is the lesson that I have learned from this story. Thank you, everyone. Bye.